Hello, and welcome back to Miss Bell's classroom. Remember to enroll in my classroom by clicking the subscribe button. In today's video, I'll be covering one of the most requested topics I've ever had. As you can see here, we will be discussing the planet Uranus. I anticipate many jokes in the comments and I cannot wait to see them. So to start talking, does anyone know how they discovered Uranus? Okay, so Uranus was the first planet to be found with the aid of a telescope. All of the other planets discovered before Uranus were discovered with the naked eye. Uranus was discovered in 1781 by astronomer William Herschel. He originally thought it was either a comet or a star. It was 2 years later that the object was universally accepted as a new planet, in part because of observations by astronomer Johann Bode. William Herschel tried unsuccessfully to name his discovery Georgium Sidus after King George III. Instead, the planet was named Uranus, the Greek god of the sky, as suggested by Johann Bode. So, our first topic is we're just going to talk about how big is Uranus. With a radius of 15,759 miles, Uranus is 4 times wider than Earth. If Earth was the size of a nickel, Uranus would be about as big as a softball. So here is a softball and here's a nickel. So this would be Uranus, and then this would be about the size of Earth. So you can see how much bigger Uranus really is than Earth. So from an average distance of 1.8 billion miles, Uranus is 19.8 astronomical units away from the sun. 1 astronomical unit is the distance from the sun to the Earth, so it is 19 times further away than the Earth. From this distance, it takes sunlight 2 hours and 40 minutes to travel from the sun to Uranus. So our next topic is about how fast does Uranus spin. So one day on Uranus takes about 17 hours. So a day is slightly shorter than Earth's day. Uranus makes a complete orbit around the sun in about 84 Earth years. So the average person would live to be about 1 year old on Uranus. Uranus is the only planet whose equator is nearly at a right angle, so its orbit with a tilt of 97.77 degrees. So that means, unlike most planets that have a north and south poles, just like here on Earth, we have our north and our south pole. Uranus actually has its north and south poles here. So this is a possibility, or this is possibly the result of a collision with an Earth-sized object long ago. This unique tilt causes the most extreme seasons in the solar system. For nearly a quarter of each Uranian year, the sun shines directly over each pole, plunging the other half of the planet into a 21-year-long dark winter. I imagine if humans lived on Uranus, they would have to move homes every 21 years, so they don't just live in darkness. Uranus is also one of just 2 planets that rotate in the opposite direction than most of the planets. Venus is the other one. Any questions so far? Okay, so now we're going to talk about how did Uranus form. So Uranus took shape when the rest of the solar system formed about 4.5 billion years ago. It formed its shape when gravity pulled swirling gas and dust in to become this ice giant. Like its neighbor, Neptune, Uranus likely formed closer to the sun and moved to the outer solar system about 4 billion years ago. Any questions so far? Okay. So now we're going to talk about what is Uranus made of. Uranus is one of 2 ice giants in the outer solar system. The other is Neptune. 80% or more of the planet's mass is made up of a hot, dense fluid of icy materials: water, methane, and ammonia. Near the core, it heats up to 9,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Uranus is slightly larger in diameter than its neighbor Neptune, yet smaller in mass. It is the second least dense planet. Saturn is the least dense of all. Uranus gets its bluish green color from methane gas in the atmosphere. Any questions so far? No? Okay. Feel free to grab your snack, and you can enjoy your snack as we continue the lesson. Sunlight passes through the atmosphere and is reflected back out by Uranus's cloud tops. Methane gas absorbs the red portion of the light, resulting in a bluish-greenish color. So now we're going to talk about what is Uranus's surface like. So as an ice giant, Uranus doesn't have a true surface. The planet is mostly swirling fluids. While a spacecraft would have nowhere to land on Uranus, it would be able to fly through its atmosphere. It wouldn't be able to fly through its atmosphere unscathed either. The extreme pressures and temperatures would destroy a metal spacecraft. So raise your hand if you think there is an atmosphere on Uranus. Okay, so some of us do. So Uranus's atmosphere is mostly hydrogen and helium, with a small amount of methane and traces of water and ammonia. The methane gives Uranus its signature blue color, as stated earlier. While Voyager 2 saw only a few discrete clouds and a great dark spot and a small dark spot during its flyby in 1986, More recent observations reveal that Uranus exhibits dynamic clouds as it approaches equinox, including rapidly changing bright features. Uranus's planetary atmosphere, with a minimum temperature of negative 371 degrees Fahrenheit, makes it even colder than Neptune in some places. Wind speeds can reach up to 560 miles per hour on Uranus. Could you imagine the wind chill? Very, very cold. Winds are retrograde at the equator, blowing in reverse direction of the planet's rotation. But closer to the poles, winds shift to prograde direction, flowing with Uranus's rotation. So, raise your hand if you think there is potential for life on Uranus. Okay, so Uranus's environment is not conducive to life as we know it. The temperatures, the pressure, and materials that characterize this planet are mostly too extreme and too extreme for organisms to adapt to. So, does Uranus have moons? Uranus does have 27 known moons. While most of the satellites orbiting other planets take their names from Greek or Roman mythology, Uranus's moons are unique in being named for characters from the works of William Shakespeare and Alexander Pope. All of Uranus's inner moons appear to be roughly half water, ice, and half rock. The composition of the outer moons remains unknown, but they are likely captured asteroids. So raise your hand if you think Uranus has rings. Okay, so some of us do, some of us don't. So Uranus has 2 sets of rings. The inner system of 9 rings consists mostly of narrow, dark gray rings. There are 2 outer rings. The innermost one is reddish, like dusty rings elsewhere in the solar system, and the outer ring is blue, like Saturn's E ring. In order of increasing distance from the planet, the rings are called Zeta, 6, 5, 4, Alpha, Beta, Eta, Gamma, Delta, Lambda, Epsilon, Nu, and Mu. Some of the larger rings are surrounded by belts of fine dust. Any questions about that? Okay, so the next topic we're going to talk about is there a magnetosphere on Uranus? So Uranus has an unusual, irregular shaped magnetosphere. Magnetic fields are typically in alignment with the planet's rotation, but Uranus's magnetic field is tipped over. The magnetic axis is tilted nearly 60 degrees from the planet's axis of rotation and is also offset from the center of the planet by 1/3 of the planet's radius. Auroras on Uranus are not in line with the poles like they are on Earth, Jupiter, and Saturn due to the lopsided magnetic field. Okay, so who is ready for trivia? Okay, so I have 10 trivia questions. So we'll see who can get the most. So, number 1, which planet from the sun is Uranus? It is 8th. Very good. Number 2, how many times has Uranus been visited? Not 3, it's less than that. It's not 2, it's actually only once by Voyager 2. Number 3, how many years did it take Voyager 2 to go from Earth to Uranus? Not 10 years, it's less than that. You're close. You're getting even closer. Yes, it is 8 years it took Voyager 2 to go from Earth to Uranus. 8 years. Number 4, what element is the atmosphere mostly made of on Uranus? It's not helium. It's not methane. It is actually hydrogen. Number 5, what is the distance between Earth and Uranus? Close. Very close. A little bit more. You're getting even closer. Yes, it is 1.8 billion miles from Earth to Uranus. So number 6, scientists believe that Uranus smells like what? Okay, so scientists believe that Uranus smells like rotten eggs because of the hydrogen sulfide found on the planet. Number 7, why does Uranus appear blue? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, good. So, the methane in the upper atmosphere absorbs the sun's red light and scatters blue back into our eyes. Number 8, what do scientists use to see Uranus's surface below its clouds? Okay, so that one is infrared imagery. Number 9, when Voyager 2 flew by Uranus, how many new moons did it discover? It's not 5, it's more. You're getting closer. Good, they discovered 10 new moons. Alright, and the last trivia question. When Voyager 2 flew by, how many new rings did it discover? Close. Yes, good. Voyager 2 was able to discover 2 new rings. Very good. Alright, well, I hope that you enjoyed learning about Uranus today, and thank you for watching. Good night.